Isn't it strange how the busiest days often leave us feeling the emptiest? You spend the entire day hustling, crossing off tasks, yet when you finally crawl into bed, it feels like you've moved mountains but haven't actually moved forward. It's a paradox. Our attempt to control every part of life, from schedules to interactions, often makes us feel the least in control. If you've ever ended your day wondering, what was all that for? Zrenia, Venia Din. Stoicism offers a timeless solution, one that challenges the idea of control itself. The great Stoic thinkers, like Epictetus, believed that true freedom lies not in controlling external events, but in mastering our internal responses. Life isn't about what happens to you, but how you choose to respond. Think of your thoughts as visitors knocking on the door of your mind. Some bring peace, others bring chaos. The key isn't to silence them, but to decide which ones deserve a place inside. Practicing Stoicism teaches you to welcome each thought without letting the negative ones take control or linger too long. Let's break it down into something practical for daily life. When a stressful thought appears, don't let it overwhelm you. Instead, pause and acknowledge it. This pause is your moment of power, the point where you shift from reacting to choosing. Ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Is it even true? More often than not, our most distressing thoughts stem from worry rather than reality. By questioning them, we strip them of their power. Next comes redirection, a Stoic practice of focusing only on what's within your control. You can't control people's opinions, the traffic, or the weather, but you can control how you respond. Shift your energy from frustration to actions that center you. Deep breathing, a walk, or quiet reflection. Mastering your mind doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but understanding them. Emotions aren't commands, they're signals. By recognizing them without letting them dictate your actions, you navigate life with clarity and calm. Like a Stoic sage, you remain steady, unshaken by life's ups and downs. Life, with all its unpredictability, often feels like a puzzle where the pieces refuse to fit the way we expect. This is where Stoicism offers a transformative shift in perspective. Philosophers like Epictetus emphasized that true happiness isn't about controlling the external world, but accepting it as it is. Instead of forcing reality to match our expectations, we adjust our expectations to match reality. Think of life as a stage play. You don't control the script or the actors. Many things, weather, markets, other people's choices, are simply beyond your influence. A Stoic observes these with calm detachment, not indifference, but deep understanding. True power lies in recognizing what we can and cannot control. Embracing reality doesn't mean passivity. It means channeling our energy into what can be changed instead of wasting it on frustration. For instance, we can't control someone's rude behavior, but we can control our response, whether by addressing it calmly or simply walking away. This mindset builds resilience. A Stoic doesn't wish for calmer seas. They learn to navigate the storm. By accepting that setbacks are inevitable, we prepare ourselves emotionally for life's ups and downs. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen our ability to cope. Practicing this daily shifts our perspective. Instead of resisting reality, we learn to accept it making obstacles feel less overwhelming. Over time, fewer things disturb us, and what once seemed unbearable becomes manageable. Life's only certainty is uncertainty. We often believe we're standing on solid ground, but change is constant. Stoicism teaches that by embracing uncertainty rather than fearing it, we find true peace and resilience. Much of our stress comes from resisting change. What if, instead, we learned to move with it? Worrying about the future, tomorrow, next week, or next year, often traps us in a cycle of stress. We plan, predict, and try to map out every detail, hoping to avoid obstacles. But life isn't a straight road. It's an unpredictable path through a dense forest, where each turn can bring either a beautiful view or an unexpected challenge. Stoicism teaches us to welcome this uncertainty, not with fear, but with courage and adaptability. The first step is accepting that we have little control over external events. We can't dictate the economy, the weather, or other people's actions, but we can control how we respond. This doesn't mean abandoning goals. It means holding them lightly, ready to adjust as circumstances shift. A skilled sailor doesn't fight the wind. They adjust their sails to move forward. Letting go of the need for certainty is freeing. It opens the door to flexibility, creativity, and effectiveness. Instead of being stuck chasing a perfect outcome, we focus on adapting, learning, and making the best of every situation. Plans still exist, but we approach them with a willingness to pivot when needed. And here's the beauty of it. When uncertainty stops being a threat and starts becoming an opportunity, life feels richer. Every challenge holds the potential for growth, pushing us to develop resilience, patience, and courage. Instead of fearing the unknown, we learn to use it as a space for self-improvement. Similarly, dealing with praise and criticism can feel like navigating stormy seas, one moment lifted by compliments, the next thrown off course by harsh words. It's exhausting. That's why Stoicism teaches a powerful principle: detachment from external opinions. It's not about being indifferent to everything, but about freeing yourself from the need for validation. Your worth isn't determined by what others think. It's shaped by how you choose to see yourself. Stoicism doesn't teach us to become emotionless or ignore all feedback. Instead, it encourages a balanced mindset where we consider opinions without letting them shake our sense of self. As Epictetus put it, if someone praises me, it reflects their opinion, not my worth. When we internalize this, praise becomes a passing echo rather than a measure of our value, and criticism turns into just another perspective, not an attack on our character. The challenge lies in applying this wisdom. It starts with aligning our actions with our values rather than chasing approval. When you act from personal conviction instead of seeking validation, external opinions lose their grip on you. Another key practice is recognizing how fleeting both praise and criticism are. A compliment can lift your mood one moment and be forgotten the next. Likewise, criticism may sting temporarily, but its impact fades with time. Understanding this impermanence helps build emotional resilience, making you less reactive to the shifting judgments of others. True Stoic indifference comes from filtering feedback through reason. Not all praise is useful. It can lead to complacency. Not all criticism is harmful. It can offer valuable insights. By discerning what serves your growth and discarding the rest, you gain control over your inner peace. This mindset doesn't just shield you from negativity, it fosters a deeper confidence, one rooted in self-awareness rather than external approval. Confidence built this way is unshakable because it's based on knowing yourself, not on how others perceive you. Interestingly, humans have an innate desire to be right, often turning conversations into battles to be won. But Stoicism suggests a different approach, one where true victory isn't about proving others wrong, but about maintaining inner peace and fostering personal growth. Letting go of the need to always be right doesn't mean compromising on truth. It means reassessing what truly adds value to our lives and what merely feeds our ego. Think about how much energy we waste in arguments, defending our positions like fortresses under siege. Stoicism teaches us to lower the drawbridge, not to surrender, but to step out with a mindset of understanding rather than conquest. Epictetus advises us to lead with listening rather than speaking. By doing so, we open ourselves up to new perspectives, deepening not only our knowledge of a subject, but also our understanding of the human condition. This doesn't mean we should never stand up for what we believe in. Rather, it encourages us to choose our battles wisely. Ask yourself, is this disagreement truly important to my values, or am I just trying to protect my pride? Sometimes, the wisest and most courageous act isn't launching another verbal attack, but recognizing the limits of what we know. Releasing the grip on always having to be right lowers stress and strengthens relationships. It turns conflicts into opportunities for connection and learning. Think about the last time someone admitted they were wrong in a discussion with you. Didn't it increase your respect for them? Moreover, Stoicism doesn't encourage letting go of being right just for the sake of peace. It teaches that wisdom lies in accepting uncertainty. The universe is vast, complex, and ever-changing. Our understanding will always be incomplete. Embracing this fact fosters humility and a lifelong openness to growth, which is far more fulfilling than the fleeting satisfaction of winning an argument. Expectations shape our joys, disappointments, and everything in between. We meticulously plan our days, careers, and relationships, hoping life will follow our script. Yet, reality rarely unfolds as planned. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote. Instead of rigidly clinging to expectations, it teaches us to adapt, remain open to change, and find peace in the unpredictability of life. Expectations shouldn't diminish our dreams, but rather ground them in reality. This doesn't mean expecting the worst. It means preparing ourselves to accept whatever life brings, finding contentment in any situation. Seneca wisely observed that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Often, our disappointments don't arise from life itself, but from the gap between what we expect and what actually happens. By adjusting our expectations, we bridge this gap. Imagine approaching life with an open mind, free from rigid demands on outcomes. You give your best effort, but you're equally prepared for any result. This mindset reduces anxiety and the fear of failure because you're no longer clinging to the illusion of a single right outcome. Expecting less doesn't make life dull. Quite the opposite. It invites more joy and spontaneity. When we stop confining our experiences within rigid expectations, we make room for life to surprise us in ways we never could have planned. This is a more flexible, resilient way of living, like a river that flows around obstacles rather than a canal that dries up when blocked. Moderating expectations also shifts our focus from outcomes to the process itself. This is liberating. It allows us to be fully present, to immerse ourselves in the act of doing rather than obsessing over results. Whether we're working on a project, enjoying a hobby, or spending time with loved ones, we experience the moment without the burden of needing everything to turn out perfectly. And when things don't go as hoped, as they inevitably sometimes won't, our inner balance remains intact. We don't crumble under disappointment because we never expected perfection in the first place. That doesn't mean we won't feel disappointment, but it won't control us. Instead, we acknowledge it, learn from it, and move forward with greater wisdom. Self-mastery and inner tranquility require us to use our time and energy wisely. Saying no isn't merely about declining an invitation or turning down a request. It's a powerful act of affirming your priorities, respecting your limits, and preserving your energy for what truly matters. The Stoics understood the importance of knowing one's limits and valuing time. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to focus on the essential and disregard the unnecessary. When we say no to distractions, we uphold this principle, consciously deciding how we spend each moment. Every no is, in fact, a yes to something more meaningful, something aligned with our values and goals. Imagine this. Your day is already full, yet another request comes your way. It's tempting to say yes, to avoid disappointing someone, or to maintain a certain image. But at what cost? Overcommitting leads to stress and exhaustion, pulling us away from the Stoic ideal of peace and balance. Instead, by carefully evaluating whether a commitment aligns with our principles and having the courage to decline when it doesn't, we reclaim control over our lives. This doesn't mean becoming selfish or rigid. On the contrary, it means being intentional. It's about being honest with yourself and with others about what truly adds value to your life. By being selective, you enhance the quality of your engagements, relationships, and work. The commitments you do accept will receive more of your energy and focus, leading to deeper satisfaction and better outcomes. Each time you say no, you reinforce your ability to set boundaries and prioritize your well-being. Growth often requires stepping beyond our comfort zones, a process that isn't always easy. However, Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in resilience and inner strength, teaches us to view discomfort not as an obstacle, but as a powerful teacher. Think back to a difficult experience you've faced. At the time, it may have seemed overwhelming, but in hindsight, you can likely see how it shaped you, strengthening your skills, deepening your resilience, or broadening your perspective. The Stoics, including Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, believed that life's challenges provide opportunities to practice essential virtues such as courage, patience, and perseverance. By embracing discomfort, we train ourselves to be stronger and more capable. Much like a muscle that grows through repeated stress in exercise. Rather than avoiding difficulties, facing them head-on enhances our ability to navigate adversity. This not only makes us more resilient, but also allows us to appreciate life's experiences more fully. Avoiding discomfort may feel safe in the short term, but it often leads to stagnation. Stoicism teaches us that true fulfillment lies beyond hardship. By stepping into challenges, we not only uncover our limits, but also discover our true potential. Furthermore, exposing ourselves to different and difficult situations fosters adaptability, an essential quality for growth and success. Whether learning a new skill, switching careers, or adjusting to unexpected life changes, our ability to thrive is directly linked to our willingness to endure discomfort. Embracing discomfort also nurtures humility, another core Stoic virtue. It reminds us that we are always a work in progress and that self-improvement is a lifelong journey. Instead of becoming complacent, this mindset keeps us grounded, continuously learning and striving to be better. In the end, every challenge we overcome is not just a test, but a stepping stone toward becoming the best version of ourselves. Every new challenge is an opportunity to learn, not just about the world around us, but also about ourselves. Thinking about the end of life can feel unsettling. The fact that our time here is finite may create discomfort. However, in the wisdom of Stoicism, reflecting on mortality isn't a morbid fixation, but a powerful way to deepen our appreciation for life. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of living each day as if it were your last, not with fear, but with a profound awareness that our time is limited. This practice, known as memento mori, remember, you must die, serves as a reminder of life's impermanence, urging us to live fully in the present. When we acknowledge that each moment could be our last, trivial annoyances and grievances lose their grip on us. We shift our focus to what truly matters, strengthening relationships, pursuing meaningful work, and dedicating time to passions that ignite our soul. Reflecting on death also sharpens our priorities. It helps us distinguish between what is genuinely important and what is merely a distraction. This doesn't mean living in a state of urgency, but rather cultivating a steady awareness that our time is precious and we must choose wisely how to use it. Each day becomes more valuable, every interaction more significant, and we begin to let go of procrastination and pettiness. Moreover, Stoicism teaches that accepting the inevitability of death can free us from fear. When we stop treating death as a taboo or something to be feared, it loses its power over us. Instead, we can see it as a natural and inevitable part of life, one that reinforces the importance of living well. This acceptance brings a sense of calm and clarity, helping us navigate life's challenges with resilience. Ultimately, the goal isn't just to live a long life, but to live a meaningful and honorable one. Challenges should be faced with a balanced perspective, and in reflecting on our mortality, there lies an important call to action, not to dwell on the end, but to use this awareness as fuel for a more intentional and meaningful life. Ask yourself, if this were my last year, what would I want to achieve? Who would I want to become? This isn't about rushing to complete a checklist of experiences, but rather about refining our daily actions and mindset to align more closely with our true values. It's about living each day with purpose, clarity, and authenticity. Thank you for being part of this profound journey with Stoic Journal. Remember, embracing these lessons isn't just about acquiring knowledge. It's about applying them to transform the way we live every single day. If today's discussion resonated with you, I encourage you to explore more by watching one of our suggested videos on the screen. Together, let's commit not just to a longer life, but to a fuller, wiser, and more intentional one.